Cardano price has consolidated nicely over the last 1 to 2 weeks, and as we go into the second week of March, things are really heating up. And in this video, I want to break all of that down and exactly what you need to watch for on the Cardano charts. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe, that like, turn the notification bells on for the very best crypto technical analysis. I do videos every day, everybody. Let's jump into the Cardano video. We're gonna dive into this hourly chart, but again, there's so much underlying context, so much that we have to discuss leading into that. And before we do, I just want to throw this out there: the countdown, Cardano to reach full decentralization on March 31st, less than a year after launching its IOHK-owned network of federated nodes. Cardano is on schedule to reach full decentralization at the end of March 2020. At that point, the already established network of over 1,800 community pools will be responsible for producing all new blocks. Everybody, this is so fundamentally bullish for Cardano in what they have been achieving throughout their roadmap, right? Right now in the Goguen era, and we are looking at smart contracts on their way. We know we have this multi-asset ledger that was just launched via Mary hard fork last week. And we are in the middle of it, everybody. Fundamentally, the bullishness for Cardano and what they're achieving is ridiculous. Now, I want to just talk about some other things. And I'm not going to go through this whole tweet, but we know the list of speculation. Africa, Coinbase listing, staking with Coinbase, Grayscale, Celsius, entirely new ADA ecosystem. Now, all of these things are happening, right, before our eyes, including the speculation of it all, right? There's a lot of things in play right now. Charles Hoskinson about to speak at a keynote at Blockchain Africa conference. He will deliver a keynote at the conference on Cardano's projects on the African continent. So much speculation in regards to what's happening there. This will take place March 18th to 19th. Those are important dates to keep in mind as we are right now on March 7th. So leading into these things, you have to take this into consideration when looking at Cardano charts. So much fundamentally going on. And speaking of Cardano, I'll put a link in the description. I did some speculation in mid-February about what I think could possibly be happening with Africa, and it's huge. So I'll put a link in the description. Make sure you watch this video first and then check that out if you have some time. And then this is interesting to me. The next Bitcoin, investors flock to new cryptocurrency ADA. I don't think Cardano is the next Bitcoin. I want to just be completely straight up there, right? They both have their unique qualities, and they both have these reasons why I'm extremely long-term bullish on them. However, this is a sentiment that is not the first time I've seen it or read it. And if you just kind of scroll down here, you can just see the bullishness that is perceived by the markets. Investors are looking for the next Bitcoin, meaning they're investing in cheaper tokens like Cardano's ADA, IOTA, and Tron, all of which are priced around the dollar mark. That's the mindset. And we have to keep that in mind, especially as the masses of retail come into the markets. They're only looking at one thing: a $50,000 Bitcoin. Wow, that's expensive for me. I can't do that. I need something cheaper. And what are they seeing when they're going and looking in the top 5? $1.13 Cardano. What's that? Let me look into that. And when you have the confluence of everything Cardano is building fundamentally and what they're about to achieve in the crypto ecosystem, and then you just have that very simple bullish mindset of these masses of retail coming in, and we need to educate them as they come in about what Cardano is doing, and also why market cap is more important than just looking at price. They need to understand that they can own some Bitcoin as well, and that's something we need to do, educate them as they get in here. But all of these things, everybody, the confluence of all these things, so bullish when looking at Cardano, and it's so important to remember these things and talk about these things as we do talk about the Cardano charts. Now, as you know, Cardano entering most recently, literally just happening in February, its bull market doors, this macro Fibonacci, that bull market high to the bear market low up to this resistance area. And Cardano really just testing that area right now. On the macro, testing the 786 line of the bull market doors. That 618, just to be mindful of, right around 90 cents, which is perfectly fine. Right now, we're seeing everything we want to see on the weekly chart, and I mean that. We're seeing everything we want to see. We had a swing high, all-time high around the $1.50 mark to a previous swing low in the low, like $1.03 range. It's a 30% plus dip for Cardano. I don't care what cryptocurrency you own. If you're in a bull market, you want to see these types of dips. We talked about them going into the bull market, and here they are happening before our eyes. It is not bearish. It is extremely important and necessary, these consolidations for these cryptos, and Cardano is one of them. So now we start digging in a little bit. What is going on the daily chart? This is where pressure is mounting. It is building. And we had a very similar consolidation all the way back here, and this was in January before a breakout to the upside. Now, this is where things are getting critical this week. It seems like it's going to be a very interesting big week for crypto. I think you can even just go to this tweet I just referenced, and right here on the side of the screen, U.S. Senate passes $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill. What is that going to do to crypto markets? We have to keep that in mind. But again, Cardano at an extremely critical area down here at this 20-day moving average, a green line, consolidating towards this lower trend line of this rising channel, and we had a very similar move back in January. And, we were coming off of a big swing high, so it was a big dip for Cardano then. It was a big dip for Cardano now, and we can start zooming in, and we start tracking, well, what are we looking at on the very zoomed-in charts going into this extremely important week? I want to take a quick look from a March 1st video that I did. It is just obvious to utilize a little bit of wisdom that suggests a third touch in this area is very much possible. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to happen, but there's a huge case for it to happen. So we got it. And I think this is probably the most bullish thing Cardano could have done, is this third touch. And one of the things that we talked about a lot is the fact that Cardano there was a lot of space. And the touches we did get at this lower trend line, they weren't many, and they were fast. So there was like a lot of space, and Cardano was just really trading at this upper trend line a lot. Now, a similar thing happened in the last rising channel back here, kind of a quick touch, and then this last area, Cardano hung out on the lower end of that consolidation, that upward consolidation, hung out down here a little bit longer. And on the 6 hour, you can actually even see the similarities in terms of the moving averages and how they're interacting with Cardano price back then. You can see this 20 moving average on the 6 hour. You can just see it trickling down below the 50, back up above the 50. And then if we go to Cardano right now, you can just see a very similar thing right now happening. We're getting this cross, which it's something to be concerned of on the very short term, but it's a very simple sign of consolidation if Cardano can just manage to kind of bring back up. And what does Cardano have to do to make that happen? It's exactly what happened back here in this last burst of consolidation, and we can start digging in to see what exactly that looks like. And here it is on the hourly chart. And on the hourly chart, we're going to use a very important short-term, and this is short-term, very short-term support area, everybody. The swing low to swing high, Cardano coming down, touching this green support area, this Fibonacci retracement. And if we go back and we reference, I just want to really reference this on the hourly charts. When Cardano was doing a similar move before its last breakout, it did this a couple of times. And we got a swing low to swing high. We hit the support area right there. And then we had another from that swing low to new swing high. We did it again. Cardano hitting this new support area right here. This is the story of higher highs and higher lows. This is the story of truly the mental aspect of these markets. There's synergy on these charts, everybody. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, these are humans behind these charts. That's why you see so much consistency in historical data. So we're looking for very similar moves right now, which is that swing low to swing high down to support. And currently that support area right around $1.09 down to $1.06. And then if we get rid of that Fibonacci support area, we can start looking at what is Cardano doing from just a merely pattern perspective. And what I see here is obviously we have these just upper trend line, I guess you would call them falling channels. You can see it. Kind of similar thing happened in the last consolidation pattern, and then it happened back here. This obviously was a very quick touch to the lower trend line, but just these falling patterns happening, and we're getting squeezed with this upward convergence into what I see as a symmetrical triangle. And going into, I mean, really this week, what is going to happen with this area? Right now, it's nice to see on the very short term just higher highs and higher lows for Cardano. But the question is that going to continue? Are we going to break through this lower trend line? Or are we going to get a break to the upper trend line? If you look at the targets out of this symmetrical triangle that's here, we have a target to the downside around 95 cents and a target to the upside around $1.38. I really think going into this week, what the rest of crypto markets do will dictate what Cardano does at this point. Unless some news comes out about something that we are speculating right now, Africa, Coinbase, Grayscale, Celsius, or something else, unless something comes out, Cardano is obviously most likely going to just move with the crypto markets. And that's why going into this week, which I believe is going to be a huge week, considering the stimulus and what Bitcoin's doing on its own charts, it's going to be a very big week. That's going to kind of dictate what target we hit. And remember, if we're talking about that 95 cent target to the downside, and we go over here and we're at the 6-hour chart, this is an area we've talked about a lot, which is that last swing low on this lower trend line to the upper trend line swing high. And we have this area of support, this major area of Cardano support going down to this 786 line right around 95 cents. So there's the case for 95 cents on the hourly chart. It kind of stems from breaking out of this very short-term symmetrical triangle. But remember, if we get a bullish move, even today, Sunday, tonight, overnight going into tomorrow, Cardano's target to the upside, this first stepping stone towards all new all-time highs, right around $1.40 to the upside out of this consolidation pattern on the very short term that it's in right now. I'm telling you, this is going to be a big week. I have that feeling when looking at the charts, and I get it. You don't go based off of feelings, but maybe we shouldn't call it feelings. Let's call it based on the data. We are in that pressure cooker. And we've hit this trend line. We've hit our targets. We've been patient. We've talked about patience coming all the way down here. We're there, and now the break is coming. I truly think that in the next 12 to 24 hours. I'll throw that out there. I could be wrong, and I'm gonna have to say so in my video tomorrow. But we will see. This is what I'm tracking for Cardano. I wanted to kind of do a macro, fundamental, micro analysis all in one. I hope it proves some value to you. If you're here, not a subscriber, hit that subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.